Number 10 is a very common algebra question, and it's almost certain that it's going to be on the test. Find an equation for the line that goes through -2, 3 and 1, 12, and we want our answer to be in the slope-intercept form. So this is how we are going to do it. We have to find out what the slope of the line is. Regardless which form that you want, you always have to find the slope of the line first. And this is the formula. The slope is denoted by m, which is going to be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Use this formula when you are given 2 points. And this is how I will label my points. I'm going to look at the first point I see. Let's label it as x1 and y1. And the second point that I see is x2, y2. It doesn't really matter which one you call the ones and the twos. As long as you're consistent, the 1 and 1 right here, the 2 and 2 are right here, then you are good. Now we are going to draw in our numbers into the formula. The slope is going to be y2, which is, as we labeled it, is 12. We are going to subtract, and y1 is going to be 3. Then on the denominator, we have x2, and based on our labeling, x2 is equal to 1. So I have 1 subtract x1, and x1, be really careful with this. x1 is -2, so I'm subtracting -2 as follows like this. Then the next step is we're going to work out the numbers. 12 minus 3 is equal to 9 over 1 minus -2. This turns out to be plus 2. So 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. And of course, 9 over 3, it's going to be 3. So this is always going to be the first step. Whenever you are trying to write an equation of a line, you need to know what the slope is. Then we are going to use the formula y minus y1 is equal to m times parentheses x minus x1 close parentheses and the point -2, 3. This is the point slope form for the equation, and I just picked the point. And to be consistent, I picked the point x1, y1 as my early choice here. So x1 is going to be -2 and y1 is going to be 3. This is going to be my blueprint, and this is my ingredients. I have the x1, y1, as well as I have the m, which is 3 that I got earlier. Now I'm just going to draw in every numbers that I know into the formula. Keep in mind, the x and y are going to be staying the same. I'm just going to change all the red numbers. So I begin with y minus y1, and the y1 as I picked earlier, which is this, which we get y minus 3 right here. It's okay that you use this point instead, but once again, I just want to be consistent as my early choices. That's all. Alright, to continue, we have equal the m as we calculated earlier. The m is equal to 3, so put the 3 right here. Open the parentheses. Once again, the x stays the same. I'm going to minus x1 is equal to -2. Right? So I'm going to plug in -2 right here for x1. And let's put parentheses around it. Now, let's see what can we do with this. This is just y minus 3. Then I'm going to distribute the 3 into the parentheses, like that. And let's see what do we get. This is 3 times x, which is 3x. And this is negative times negative, which is positive 2, right? Positive 2. 3 times 2 is equal to plus 6. And finally, the important point that you have to make sure is, for the slope-intercept form, you want to end up with y equals to mx plus b. So I distribute all this, right? I distribute the 3 into the parentheses. Now I have to just isolate the y. Now I just have to isolate the y. So the final step is we are going to add 3 on both sides. We are going to add 3 on both sides. This way the 3's are cancelled on the left hand side. And I get my y equals to 3x plus 9. Y is equal to mx plus b. And this is the answer.